Danny Hallinan, you sexy motherfucker.
What's up, Cam? How we doing, baby?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm phenomenal, bro. Happy to be here.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Of course, bro.
So what's been happening, bro?
Been chilling, man. Been running around trying to do as many spots as I can, you know?
Yeah.
Here and there. But then you start slacking. But once you start getting booked on shows, you're like, oh, I don't have to do mics anymore. Yeah. and then you bomb. You're like, ah.
I sort of fell into that trap before I went overseas. Before I went back home, I was like doing some shows and I was like, don't have to do so many mics. And I just realized I wasn't getting anywhere.
I feel you, man.
You know, especially now while we're still so young in this and we've got to develop.
Yeah.
I feel like mics are just the best way to like eat shit and like
just keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you got to get those reps in. No matter what, you can try your best to skip that part. You can't skip that part.
No.
Even like there's people who are naturals and it's like, yeah, you still need you need your reps, you know what I mean? And also you just need somewhere it's like safe to bomb and like you sit in it for a little bit, but then it's only 5 minutes, so you keep moving. You know?
Yeah.
But
I feel like mics have taught me how to bomb.
Oh yeah.
Like how to bomb gracefully. Mm-hmm. You know, like not just be so used to eating shit.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. The thing is, like, I still don't know how to do it.
Oh, really?
If I'm not getting laughs, I just start sweating. I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to sit in this. What do I got? You know what I mean?
It's uncomfortable, isn't it?
It sucks, man. I mean, that's what it's like. You got to get the reps in because you're getting more reps in a week than I am.
Maybe,
so
I don't know.
You're hitting it, bro. You're out there barking. You're doing the thing. That's what I got to start doing. I got to start hitting the club more regularly.
Yeah, I got to, you know what though? I got to start moving away from like the tried and true on shows. Because I've got new material, but I always like just lean into
the safe stuff.
The safe stuff. I put a few new things in, but like I should just try and just do a whole set, which is just all new. You know, like I always have that mentality, like start off with some tried and true so you win them and then chuck a few newies in the back. But then I get off stage now and I'm like, this has happened like the last week. I'm like, you're a coward. Just fucking do some new stuff. Like, don't worry about it. I don't know. It's that I've got to let go of that fucking
100%.
Like, take the safety wheels off the training. But
I feel like that's what everybody struggles with, man. It's like, I know this stuff works 90% of the time because it's like you'll go up there. I'm doing the tightest 5 I got, and you're not getting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they're not where you think you should be, and you're like, oh, it's because I'm not trying new stuff. But I know exactly what you mean, dude. Because you get like for me, if I'm somewhere for the first time, I'm going up. Or it's like a show and they're like, oh, there's a booker in the audience or whatever. I'm like, all right, I'm going to do the stuff I've been doing for a year. You know,
100%, yeah.
The stuff that I've done plenty of reps on. But
how do you feel when you follow someone really good or you follow someone really bad? What's do you have a preference or do you not care? Or because I'll just premise this. I followed a Cellar comic last night.
Oh shit,
Jamie Wolf. Do you know that guy?
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious. He did 15 minutes and he's so good. You know, like he's a
pro.
He's a pro. But I followed him and I didn't have a very good set. Like I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just like average, very, very average. And I don't care if I follow someone good. If anything, I'd prefer to follow someone good than someone bad, but it still doesn't really bother me. But I realize I certainly just off the bat, like didn't look as good. Cause you know, like he's a pro and I get up there with my like jokey fucking jokes and it's just like straight away, they're like, you suck. Like we just had excellence and now you.
But the thing is like, it really depends on how you book a show too. Right. Because for me, for example, I'm high energy, I'm yelling, I'm up there, I'm sweating, I'm working up a sweat. Right. It's hard to like then go with somebody after that who's very quiet and monotone and like kind of hit like almost like deadpan comedy. So it's like, it depends like where you're at. If that guy took the crowd up here and you're coming in with your level energy and you're like, hey, this is my joke. You know what I mean? It's just like a big drop off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's he kind of put you in a hole a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? But for me personally, I don't think I prefer one or the other. I do want somebody who got laughs. You want them warm.
I completely agree with that.
Because if somebody just destroyed the energy of the room and it's just like, whoa, like, they just reset the room. You're like, all right, now I got to dig out of that hole.
Yeah.
I'd rather dig out of the hole where it's like, all right, that guy's a pro and I'm not, obviously. But again, that Cellar comic, he has 10 years on you. You know what I mean? So that just comes with time.
I completely agree with you on that though. Like I do a lot of the check spots at St. Mark's and oftentimes the guys that win their spots from the from the industry room will do like 2 or 3 spots before me.
Okay.
He sort of places them like close to the end. So
it.
there'll be 1 or 2 like industry room guys who won their spots, then me doing the check spot, then the headliner at Broadway. And a lot of the time these guys eat fucking dick, bro. Like you say, reset the room. Like it's just suck all the air out. There's nothing left. And then like I've had a few times lately where I have a really good set on the check spot, and then the guy headlining, he's like, dude, thank you. You fucking like brought the room back a little bit.
Exactly. Especially at that time, if you're going towards the end of a show, you don't want to ruin their energy going into the final comic, your headliner. You know what I mean? He wants the room to be like, all right, we're ready to laugh. Not like, all right, I'm ready to get out. I paid my check, now let me get out of here. Because now you're fighting them out the door. Especially at Broadway, people will just get up early, pay their check, and leave.
Yeah.
So it's like that battle you're fighting, you know? That's cool, man.
What do you do? So when you're booking a show, how do you normally place a lineup? So guys, everyone should know that Danny does a show. You co-produce it with Jay.
Yeah, Jay Cervedio. We do a show called Bohemian Underground. We do it at different venues all over the place. And we're going to be doing some in August and September coming up. We got some new stuff coming. So we're very excited.
Their shows are fucking awesome, guys. They're really good. You should check them out. What's the Instagram for their show?
It's bohemian.underground on Instagram, or you can follow me, Danny Hallinan, or Jay Cervedio, the real Jay Cervedio.
There you go, guys.
Shout out.
Follow these motherfuckers. And also, guys, before I keep going, if you're watching this far, which I know a lot of you are, we're getting an average like 200, 250 views an episode across all the platplatforms, like, which is cool. Please like and subscribe, guys. It's going to help me grow this channel. Help me bring
Smash that like button.
It's going to help me bring some money in, cover some costs. You know, maybe one day we'll get Jamie Wolf in here and he can tell me how much I ate shit after him. Who knows?
Exactly.
But yeah, anyway, Danny, how do you book a lineup? So how do you what's your strategy when you're looking at it? Like, you want to sort of try and even the comics out. Is it females, males, high energy, low energy? You want to?
I definitely don't want a lineup that's just like, you know, a bunch of the same looking guys. You know what I mean? You don't want like 7 white guys on a lineup. That's pretty boring sometimes. Or you just want it to mix up. You want people to feel like welcomed, or they want to feel like they're getting different perspectives. And it really, I mean, if you're funny, you're funny. I'm gonna put you on the show, you know. But I also do try. I'm like, all right, let's mix it up a little bit. I want to make it seem like I'm actually doing comedy in New York City and not the middle of nowhere, middle Kansas or something like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like booking somebody or like having a lineup, you know, you want a good host who's going to keep the energy up, who can, you know, kind of turn around if somebody does bring down the energy or doesn't have a great set, can really knows how to like kind of think on their feet and bounce it up, or knows how to address something in the room and kind of make a joke out of it.
Do you and Jay ever host?
Yeah, we sometimes will just switch off his hosting, but recently we're trying to do a little bit more time. We're trying to work on our set, so we'll have somebody else host if we can, you know. But if not, one of us will host usually.
I've noticed like a lot of the guys that I see who have been doing shows for quite a while, they'll just get someone to host their shows, so that they themselves can do like the 2 like decent 10-minute spots,
exactly,
and run
a full set, and you're kind of getting out of it what you're putting into it. You're like, I'm doing all this work to produce a show. But then I'm like hosting and you're running around. I don't like I don't like hosting. People say I'm good at hosting. I'm not a fan of it. I like doing my set and then getting off kind of thing. I don't want to keep running back up and down. I mean, it's not because I'm fat, guys. It's not because I'm fat. It's because the adrenaline dump is over. I keep looking at myself. I'm like, yeah, probably the biggest motherfucker you had on this podcast, bro.
No way. There's a few no, maybe you are.
Yeah, exactly. I'm bigger than O'Shea. I was going to say, you could have O'Shea in here and I'm bigger than that guy.
I have. Slide to me a couple inches if you don't mind. Right? Yeah, there we go.
No, you get cold? You want a little
No, you're just in the camera better. I want you in. There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, all right, that's interesting.
But, so yeah, for a lineup though, it's kind of like you want a good, strong start, you know, for your first comic, and then you kind of want to level out the energy throughout. So if you know somebody's like a little bit more monotone, a little bit more quiet, somebody who you really need to listen, like maybe a lot of wordplay in their comedy or something like that, you need to really follow, or the storyteller or something like that, I'd probably put them like second or third. Then you kind of put somebody, not highest energy, but like little up there, somebody who can keep the crowd awake, like right in the middle. And then I usually put myself towards the end.
Yeah, of course.
I'm a lot. Yeah. I don't get up there and I'm like, hey, airplane food, right? No, I'm coming up there with a lot of energy. So
you do, man. You and I saw you like we were on the same show recently for the Bowl Cut Boys.
Yes.
Dude, you fucking killed.
Oh, thank you.
So good to watch. You had one of the strongest sets, I think, of that.
I appreciate that. That was a weird room. You couldn't It's not even a room. It was a backyard.
Yeah.
It was a backyard in Williamsburg.
It was certainly different. It's not my favorite style. Like the shows are fantastic for those boys, but outdoor shows I wouldn't say are my favorite. I definitely prefer inside a club.
Yeah, you want to
that energy when it's the energy. I don't know, something about energy being trapped in a room and 100%. Not being able to escape.
It's also scientific. You know what I mean? You want that sound to bounce off the walls. You can hear everybody laugh.
Yeah, and
I feel like when it's. And it was like kind of like when the sun was going down. That's when the show was. So I feel like if it's too bright in a room, people don't want to laugh. You know what I mean? Because they feel like, oh, I don't want this person seeing me laugh at that joke. So I feel like if it's a darker room, they're more likely to laugh, I guess, more freely because they're like, oh, nobody sees me laughing at this, or they don't feel any kind of way. You know what I mean? There's no like hesitation.
Yeah, I'm with you. Also, there was a few. It's distracting because there was like at that time there was a band playing outside or something.
Yeah, there was like a jazz band or like a New Orleans like Mardi Gras band like next door, and we're going back and forth with them. I'm like, this guy's killing it. Yeah. Like, let's just stop what I'm doing. He's doing great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fun though.
Oh, that was a great show.
So where are you from, Danny?
I'm originally from the Bronx, New York. Shout out.
New York boy.
New York, born and bred. Albert Einstein Hospital. Shout out.
There we go.
I'm so smart.
Is it literally Albert Einstein Hospital?
It's called Albert Einstein Hospital.
Did he found it or?
No, I think it was just named after him.
All right.
But it's like a large...
He invented the atom bomb, didn't he?
He was integral to the creation of the atom bomb. Yeah. But he did a lot of atomic science. So he kind of, a lot of his science led to the atomic bomb, but he wasn't, I don't know if he was directly working on it. I'm trying to remember from history class, but I also saw Oppenheimer.
So it's like, that's what I'm trying to think.
I don't think that's accurate.
He played a scene in Oppenheimer, but
they talked, but he wasn't like on the project. You know what I'm saying? The Manhattan Project.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, shout out Albert Einstein. It's a medical school as well. Some rich lady, her husband died, and then she left like a couple $100 million to the school, and now like a bunch of the students go for free. It's pretty awesome.
That's nice.
Shout out.
Nice for some.
Yeah. You got into the one medical school in the Bronx. Yeah. You know what I mean? Good for you. Good for you.
All right. So what was it like growing up here?
It was interesting. You know what I mean? I love it. I love New York. I don't think I go to any other city, I'm like, nah, it's all right. You know what I mean? It doesn't, I was like, I got bigger buildings. I got crazier shit going on, you know? I feel like when you grow up in New York or maybe LA or something like that, it's kind of like you go everywhere else. It's like, all right, obviously it's not New York, but I do value the quiet of other places. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the peace and quiet during COVID, during the lockdown, dude, phenomenal. I would walk in the middle of the street. There's like no cars. I was working as a doorman at the time, and it's just me and the crackheads, you know what I mean? And they're not bothering me, you know what I mean? Until I got real hungry, you know? When nobody's out there to panhandle, they get desperate. You know? They're like, oh, there's one guy. We're all going after this one guy, you know?
Legit?
Not me, but it definitely, people were a little bit more aggressive with the, hey, I need money, you know what I mean? Because there was no foot traffic to ask for that kind of stuff.
I always wonder how much money they make in a day.
I mean, I feel like in New York, you can't make that much. Just because there's so many people panhandling. But I know, like, you see stories all the time in like the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, and you're like, oh, this guy makes $100,000 a year standing on this corner just asking people for money. Or like they'll catch him, he's in a wheelchair, and then he throws it in the back of his truck and drives away. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But you see that all the time.
You see the people just putting on theatrics.
Yeah.
Like, oh my life. They got this. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you? All right. I'm assuming that what they're doing is deliberate. If it's not, I apologize. But if it is deliberate, which I feel like I have a good sense for some of these people, because you got to remember, there's probably like 100,000 homeless in the city.
At least, yeah.
And there's just, you see everyone, but there's these people that put on a fucking show, a show of just poor me. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know the ones who I give the money to? The guys that work for it.
Yeah.
The guys that do their dancing in the train.
Showtime. Well, all due respect, a lot of those guys are just doing that. They have homes. You know what I mean?
But I think like it's cool. I like that.
No, I like that. I mean, if you're selling something, God bless. There are people who just need help. I feel like living here, you kind of get an eye for it. You're like, 100%. This person's using it for drugs. This person is trying to feed their family. But like, there is a situation where I'm a very empathetic person, but then you build like a scaly exterior to all that. You have an armor to feeling bad for people here just because there's so many people here. And there was one guy who's like on the train. he was actually he went viral on Instagram recently, or like somebody made a video of it because they confronted him. He's like, dude, I gave you like $50 last year because you said you and your kids are in a shelter and you're trying to get them out, and you're still out here. And like he had his kids with him, or it was like 2 years later. It was something crazy. Like he's like, dude, I've seen you multiple times and you're still out here begging and you haven't done anything for your kids. You know, there's like that situations like that are tough. You don't know what that guy's going through. He might be struggling with some kind of addiction. You know what I mean? But
those poor kids, man.
Yeah, that's
where
where
they get dragged.
Dude,
through
it's
the
heartbreaking.
ringer.
It's heartbreaking. I feel bad for like, you know, there's kids who have to sell snacks on the trains and things like that, which is like just for their family to survive. And it's because their legal situation here in the States, they can't work legally, things like that. And of course, everybody got to figure that stuff out. You know, I'm not here to comment on any of that, but it's tough, man. You try to I feel like you just pick up like who's on drugs and who's not.
100%. So when I first got here, I was getting out, like if I got out $200 from an ATM, I'd get out of like maybe $30 in $5 notes. And then every week I would just give a couple of $5 notes out to people. You do get a sense of legitimate, you know, people that need the care and help. But
100%.
After a while, like I'm like, well, I'm not really making much money. I can't even afford to give money out at the moment. Everything's expensive. Like I can't.
I feel like if people say like New Yorkers are rude or tough, we're broke, dude.
Yeah.
It's so expensive to live here. I can't afford to give my money away.
It is so expensive to live here.
Yeah,
it is
100%.
breaking my balls right now.
Dude, it's tough. I mean, it's the most expensive place to live in the country. So it's like, it is what it is. Yo. And, you know, we're getting waves. All my fans outside. Yeah. You know, I'm real popular out here on Orchard Street, you know, with all these yuppies. Oh, man. I hate. All right. Anyways, I'm going to get hateful.
Nah, it's all good.
But yeah, it's tough. You just kind of figure out who's on drugs, who's not, who's going to use this. And you kind of just pray that it's going to the right stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because if in your heart, I'm giving this guy this money to buy diapers for his kids or feed his kids, and he goes and buys heroin or whatever, it's like, it's not on me. You know, that's on him, you know, at the end of the day. But you know, it's nice to have singles just so you can give singles out. But again, people are like, oh, you know, that's not enough. Like,
can you like, you're not going to know the answer to this. I'm like,
try me.
How small a money can they, that is the worst worded sentence. How cheap can they buy drugs for?
Oh, I would think $10.
$10 they can go get some.
I think you can get a hit of Fent for like $10, $20 at least. It used to, I feel like maybe back in the day it was cheaper. I don't know how much crack was, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Crack used to be the big thing. Like people were going out to
crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine, yeah. You cook up some crack, cook up some cocaine with baking soda. I don't know how to do it. But you know,
I did try to do it once.
God bless you.
Yeah, I tried, but the quality of the Coke was so bad. I was so curious. I was like, what if I just do a little bit? I just can try. And I never did it.
Yeah, you do it, it makes it stronger or whatever. You get higher and everything.
That was in my dumb dog days.
Yeah. I'm
a sober boy now, Danny.
Oh, God bless. Good for you, bro. Congratulations, dude.
So those $1 can add up and they can get something if they are.
Yeah, 10 nice people. If 10 nice folks give them $1,
yeah,
they got some shit.
There was this guy who was living in the front of this apartment building, this homeless guy, they've got this little like garden, I guess, out the front.
Yeah.
And it's always where I bark for St. Mark's. And he's just been sitting there the last 3 days, 3 nights, just chuffing on his crack pipe. He's obviously has not slept, but he's just out in the open.
Yeah.
He's fucking schizophrenic, this guy. Like, he's scary. And he walks around air punching everything, just go, and when he does that, he spits. So it's just, that's the worst. Like, when you don't want to get anywhere near him because he's just going to spit on you, and and then you've got to go to the doctors and you're probably going to die. And,
I need a tetanus shot, rabies vaccine, everything.
AIDS, yeah.
That's crazy. Dude.
Anyway.
I mean, I don't want, if he spit on me, then it's not going to be nice. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude.
I think that's the one thing. Spitting on somebody is the most disgusting thing you can do.
He started collecting bricks. And I was like, this isn't going well.
He's getting ready for war, dude. He's like, listen, Albert Einstein said World War IV is going to be fought with sticks and stones. He's ready, dude. Oh, man.
So what's your thing? Do you like political stuff? Like, what do you follow, like current events, or do you sort of switch off to the world
for like
news?
Comedy?
Just like, in general.
In general, I used to be really into politics and like U.S. politics, geopolitical situations and whatever. I thought I wanted to go to school for political science, but I realized like I'm not smart enough to really, or I don't have the patience for college. So
Did you go to college?
yeah, I went to Borough Manhattan Community College. So
Okay.
you know, like 2-year school. I'd never finish, but I got myself into an internship, and I used that to get myself a job, and I've just been bouncing around using that experience since then. But what were we talking about? Oh, politics. No, not anymore.
You're not
I really,
following it?
I'm not trying to like, you know, I'm like aware of things. You know what I mean? It's on my feed. It's coming up, but I'm not going out of my way to like follow the New York Times or read an article.
Yeah.
I've kind of, again, there's a lot of, you know, shitty stuff going on, and it's like I don't know how to involve myself in everything.
Yeah, I started to step back. For ages, I took during COVID, I stepped right into it, like right in the rabbit hole. Started following a lot of independent journalists, following what was going on around the world. Then I took a huge step back because I was like, oh, this is toxic. This is sucking my energy.
It's not good for you.
No.
Because if you're like every 5 minutes, you're like Benjamin Netanyahu is a devil. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's like you may be right, but
I know.
It's not good for you.
I know.
To always be walking around, you're always thinking about like what's going on in the world or like how horrible things are. Again, there's realities of the world. I know what's going on. I'm aware of what's going on. I'm not trying to be blissfully ignorant, but I don't have the time or energy to be obsessing over every little thing, tweeting about everything, posting stuff on my story. I don't post stuff of my own comedy. I barely post for myself. I'm not going to be retweeting every single cause. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, it's not good for people. You know what I mean? Just like being on social media all day for kids, you know what I mean? Saying, oh yeah, beauty standards or being bullied or anything like that. The same thing is true for, I feel like, adults. You know what I mean? We can't be using that all day, just taking that in. You know what I mean? I don't think it's healthy. You know
I don't
what
think
mean?
so either, but I don't know what to do about it because like in one hand it's very toxic, but on the other hand we need it. Like if we're going to go anywhere in comedy, obviously we have to be good. That's unquestionable, but like you have to have a social media presence.
Oh, of course.
And that's such a shitty thing.
Dude, that is the worst part of this. I literally, before I started doing comedy, I like got off Instagram because I was like, oh, this just isn't good for my mental health. You know what I mean? It just make me anxious. I'm worrying about stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I have to. It's kind of like you need, like for a job, you need a LinkedIn. You know, if you want a corporate job or to seem professional, you need an Instagram or something, a TikTok as a stand-up comedian. You got to have something. You need like almost like a portfolio of work so that people, all right, this guy, you know, Cam wants me to book Danny on his show, but I don't know what they've done. You know what I mean? They got to see something, I feel like.
Yeah. There's no way around it. But like, do you use AI and stuff for work?
No, I don't. We're actually like not allowed to use any of the AI because we don't want it like scrubbing information and things like that.
So what do you do for work?
I sell like nuts and bolts for planes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So like for FedEx, they have planes that ship things all over the country. They need tape and sealants and de-icer and nuts and bolts and gaskets and all that stuff to maintain the plane.
Wow.
So my company, you know, sells all those parts.
So are you in an office?
Yeah, I'm in an office 5 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds all right.
It's not too bad. My commute is not far. It's like 20 minutes for me. So it's the best commute I've had. You know, I mean, everything else has been an hour into the city. So this is like in Westchester. So it's like 20 minutes out of the Bronx and I drive. So it's not too bad.
Nice.
Yeah. I like it. It's a good job. They're chill with the comedy stuff, which is good. So, so far.
So why don't they let you use AI?
I mean, specifically, I don't know what application it would be for. You know what I mean? If you said like from a sales perspective, like automatically making emails to reach out to people, I think that would be something they might be open to. But like there's like a side of the business that they do like some government contracts and stuff for the military. So they might not want Chat GPT or, you know, Open AI or whatever AI platform you're using to have access to that information. You know what I mean? Because then once they have access to that, you don't know where they're going to use it beyond that.
That's true. Because that's what I do. Like I've just discovered ChatGPT a few months ago and I use it quite a bit, especially for the podcast.
It could be a very powerful tool, dude. I mean, stuff like this, it's very useful.
Dude, it's amazing. I put the transcript through ChatGPT. It gives me like an episode summary. Then I just like fuck around with him and I write the you know, all the copy for the podcast, for the Instagram post, the, you know, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Dude, it saves me hours and hours of time.
I can imagine.
Hours. It's made me be able to like, because at one point I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this because it's just sucking my time. But I'm like, oh, what can I do? And I started using ChatGPT. I was like, all right, no, I'm good. I'm good again. I've kind of figured it out.
Do you just go on like OpenAI and just go right in, or do you have like a program that uses ChatGPT?
No, I just use ChatGPT.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing, but I wonder, like, is this going to be making me dumb? The fact that I'm not doing this stuff myself, or is it actually smart because I can now spend more time on things that I want to do? Like, I can actually go read a book before I go to bed now because I've got an extra 30 minutes or
100%. I think it's like a give and take. You know what I mean? There's a handoff there because it's like there's certain skills that you might want to build that might be valuable to you as a comedian, like learning how to edit your own things or learning how to subtitle just in case maybe one day the OpenAI or the ChatGPT doesn't do it the way you want it.
Yeah.
Or if that goes away for some reason or but I understand automating things that are like meticulous or, repetitive, of course, it's going to save you time and energy. And it makes it easier because now you're like, all right, I'm more likely to do 3 episodes in a week versus 1 because I can get them done quicker, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's definitely powerful. I know from like a sales perspective, there's like a company called Lavender and they use AI and it kind of just goes through all your sales and everything like that. And all right, we'll contact these people, and you tell it, all right, follow up with this person in 2 days, follow up with this person, and just emails them for you. And it actually knows like how to write the email in a way that it won't get caught in their like anti-spam folder and things like that. So
yeah, cool. I certainly think that there's like at school, did you ever like use the internet at school and like just copy and paste shit and like, or try and reword like?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I did an essay on Fidel Castro in like the 8th grade, copy and paste the whole thing.
Yeah. I have a friend who's a teacher and he said he's a professor at a university and he ran an assignment. He ran all the kids' assignments through AI and found out that out of 250 of them, like 230 were all done by AI.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
That's where it's crazy. But then I also think that kind of learning, I don't know, some kind of learning is just a waste of time. It's the learning where you're just like trying to retain information for no fucking reason, something that you'll never, like, I don't know.
I know what you mean. But it's like they have you write those assignments so you know how to take in information and create your own opinion. But just because I guess they make it, 10-page thesis or whatever, people are like, I couldn't be bothered to do that.
I guess what I'm trying to articulate is where's the line? Like, where's the balance of like, what is it that we need to know how to do? What is it that we should be like trying to push ourselves and learning? And what is it that we're just, maybe it is just a reminder that some of this shit is just a fucking waste of time. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's crazy. And there's so much information that we have to consume and know these days. Whereas like 500 years ago, you didn't know shit. You just knew.
It was just what's going on in your village, dude.
Yeah, and you still knew stuff, but it was just different. It was
that's all you had to know.
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't really have to worry about everything else. I feel like you definitely need some skills and like you need to be able to like do things for yourself. But I feel like we see it now. Like there's a lot of entry level jobs that are just getting eliminated because they can automate things with AI. So I think now like with new college graduates, the unemployment rate is higher than the national average, which is some kind of indicator of things not going well, And I think we've told a lot of people, especially in this country, that they should go to college and earn a 4-year degree or a master's, and then they're going to earn $100K in some crazy job that is no longer there, or just never existed.
I think I've met one person since being in New York that is doing a job that correlates to what degree they were doing.
Dude, 100%.
It's crazy.
100%.
It blows my mind. It's not like that at home. Nearly everyone I know at home has studied in their profession. They studied psychology, now they're a psychologist. They studied law, now they're a lawyer. Like I know so many people here that like studied this thing and now they're doing the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like, I don't know, in Australia, there's a lot of, you worked on like, a oil rig or a mine or something?
Yeah, I worked in the mine, in oil and gas.
In oil, okay.
Yeah,
so it was like a refinery
and
or
construction.
Something?
Yeah, we were like, it was a gas plant, basically converting like gas into LNG, liquefied natural gas.
Gotcha,
yeah.
That's cool. See, that kind of stuff, I feel like in America, we're very disconnected from, you know what I mean? Especially in the city, like, or in the big cities, you don't think about going into a trade or like something blue collar like that, where you can probably earn a very good income. You're working your ass off, but people were told, oh, you can study political science and get a job in the government somewhere, which some people did, and they got $300,000 a year, but most people didn't. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys are working at Staples or Starbucks or whatever it may be.
It's really sad.
Or marketing somewhere or something like that. I feel like if people were truthful about things and like how the trades or jobs that you might not need a 4-year degree for can be very rewarding. And I feel like people look down on the trades, especially in the U.S. Like,
I think
like, oh, this guy's a plumber or whatever. You think he's like stupid. And it's like, no, dude, this guy's making so much more money than you.
Yeah, I felt that stigma when I finished school. I felt like it was a less valued profession.
Yeah.
But from the majority of my life, I made more money than most people I knew.
I can imagine.
You know, my siblings caught up to me finally, like, but it took them 10 years for them to even catch up to me.
Yeah, it took you to quit the job and move to New York. Try comedy. Now you can make more money than me.
Anyone makes more money than me now, dude.
Yeah, man.
I only just got my bloody green card. I got my green card 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations,
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I'll let you stay.
Thank you, dude.
You're cool with me.
Yeah, it's a crazy time we're headed into. I don't know. I was listening to this. I like Tucker Carlson. He's cool. I think he's got a good perspective of the world. And he brought up this stat this week that home ownership in the US is like the lowest it's ever been.
Yeah.
And like entry-level home ownership, so people like buying their first home has dropped like significantly.
It's a huge problem.
And if that's not a telling sign of what is coming, yeah, I don't know.
What it is like we have these huge conglomerates or just like financial institutions that go in and buy up all the homes that are from like 100K to 300K, and they turn them into rental properties because they're like, oh, we can make money off these large portfolios, and then they use that as like some kind of asset that they're going to sell to another company.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like, oh, we need to provide affordable housing so people can start their families and we can have like the next generation of people who are like hardworking, producing Americans.
Yeah.
But instead of that, they're like, oh no, you can pay rent. Don't worry about home insurance and all these things. We'll take care of that, you know? And I feel like it was, a lot of people thought it was easier to rent. And then now it's kind of like a runaway train that everybody wants to be a landlord, you know, when it's just like, why don't we just worry about people buying their own home, building equity, and put themselves in a strong financial situation for the future? And
you know, the saddest thing is owning a home is way cheaper than renting. Like I've owned a couple of places now, and a mortgage, even with a higher interest rate, is still cheaper than paying rent.
Yeah, the biggest thing is that buy-in amount. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You
That's the hard thing.
Yeah.
And I got lucky because I went away. So I just went to the mines for a few years, you know, stacked $100,000, you know, in a year. And
nice.
And I was just like, all right, sweet, I'm good. But a lot of people don't have that opportunity. That would be impossible if you're just doing a 9 to 5 in the city.
Oh, no. I mean, buying in the city is insane. I mean, even like decent, I'm up in the Bronx now and I'm in like a nicer area now, and like things are expensive, but there's $1 million apartments up there in the Bronx. You're like, for what? For that kind of money, you might as well move out of the city, buy a home for $1 million. You know what I mean? You'll get a starter home, something that was like $400,000 20 years ago or $300,000 20 years ago. It's just like things go up with time, but it's just like real estate has gone up so much. It's crazy.
Have you got a rent stabilized place?
No, we just my place we found on Craigslist. So we just found like a private owner who was just looking to rent out their apartment because she was moving out. She was like, you know, having, I don't know what the situation was, but she was moving out into another property that either her or her family owned, and she wanted to rent the apartment out. So we kind of just have an understanding. It goes up a little bit every year, you know what I mean? But nothing crazy. But we moved around a bit. You know, I haven't been in like the same apartment for 30 years, you know?
Yeah.
We moved around. I got some family members that have been in the same apartment since like the 80s or the 90s. So they're paying a couple $100 a month.
Amazing.
It's crazy. I mean, good for them, you know what I mean? But also it's like, you make people, oh, that's crazy. How you paying that much? And it's like, all right, the apartment is from 1990.
Yeah.
Hasn't been renovated. Hasn't, you know what I mean? Yeah. They don't do the work if you're renting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just do the work themselves. Like if I'm living somewhere for 20 years, I'll renovate it.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Take my security deposit away?
Yeah.
Or they're going to be mad that I improved the apartment or added value?
Exactly.
That's dream landlord situation. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, the building we're in is so old. It's falling apart, man.
I can imagine.
It is fucking falling apart. Plaster is literally falling from the ceiling.
What area in?
In Upper East Side.
Oh, okay,
But we're in a very old building.
Yeah.
Like we had a water leak the other day. They just shut the power off shut the water off for 4 days to the whole building.
That's crazy.
4 fucking days. They couldn't get a plumber out.
That's crazy.
It is. I mean, that would just never happen in Australia. I feel like it's crazy.
You guys got the tradies, right?
Yeah, we got the tradies, but it just wouldn't happen. You'd have within a day, you would have like a channel, like a national news network would be out the front doing a story on them. Like, it would just be, you just couldn't get away with it.
I can imagine, dude. Especially, I mean, here in the city, like I said, there's 9 million people here. You're like, all right, yeah, there's 20 buildings with no water right now.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
You think you're special? You think you're the only guy with no water? They start talking. Be glad you're not the guy on the subway. He don't got water. Yeah. The guy sleeping in the street. He don't got water. Jesus. Just because you pay rent, you think you should have water? Like, my bad, dude. My bad.
I believe that water and electricity you shouldn't have to pay for. I feel like that should be a God-given right in this modern age. You shouldn't have to pay for energy. You shouldn't have to pay for water.
Things are crazy here. I feel like, especially in New York, there's like all these guys just doing whatever the fuck they want with the fire hydrants. You know, like I understand opening it up for kids to play in the summer, you know what I mean? Because it's hot. People want to cool off. But like every corner uptown, there's just like another dude washing cars, you know, doing like a car wash outside off the hydrant. And that guy's not paying for water.
What is he doing with the bucket or something?
No, he hooks up a hose to the hydrant.
No.
And then they have soap and everything. And they spray.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you're stealing water. You're stealing water from the city.
I'm all for it.
That's my water, dude. That's my water. My taxes went to that water.
No, take that fucking water. It's free. It should be free. Fuck him.
My rent includes water. You know what I mean? So I do pay for it, but you don't pay like monthly.
Yeah.
But yeah. Since I don't pay, you know, I let the water run. You know what I mean? New York, we got a lot of water. We got the Great Lakes right there.
Yeah.
Upstate.
You got the reservoir.
We got the reservoirs, but even beyond that, we have the Great Lakes, which are like the largest system of fresh water in the world.
Yeah, apparently it's really good water. There's like some guys that wanted to set up like apparently there's a lot of natural gas under those lakes. And
I'm sure there is.
They were wanting to drill it so they could get the natural gas. And I was like, bad fucking idea, dude.
I don't think they're going to allow that.
Yeah.
Because you got to get the U.S. to approve that and Canada. Because almost every one of those lakes is on the border with Canada. So I feel like Canada wouldn't allow it, even if it was in the U.S. side.
Plus, fracking is so bad. Have you seen what they do for fracking?
Dude.
They pump these like toxic materials
out
in
west.
the ground.
These
they
guys
do
will
it in
come in.
Australia, dude. In Australia,
they
they've fracked so much.
The water looks like this.
Yeah.
And they're like, and the oil guy be like, yeah, the water's safe to drink. They're like, all right, drink it, dude.
Yeah.
Here, you want to drink it?
Yeah.
They're like, nah,
you can
man.
literally put a lighter to it and it just starts fucking bubbling up.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's sad.
Let me ask you this. This is something that has been on my mind since last night. I didn't have the best set yesterday. It was, as I said, it was average.
Happens to all of us.
It happens all the time to me. I just don't care. But I didn't care about my set because I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm like a year in, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah, take your licks,
I'm going to have a good set. I'm going to have a bad set. I don't care. But afterwards, I had a few comics come up to me and try and give me some feedback. They're like, oh, you should try and be a bit more conversational. You should do this. And I was like, that kind of fucking annoyed me. I was also, I'm very self-aware when it comes to this stuff. Mm-hmm. And I am very self-deprecating. I am my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
All right. I know when I did well. I know when I didn't do well. It's okay. Mm-hmm. All right. But when someone comes up to you and tries to give you feedback straight after your set, when you know you didn't do well, I just feel like it's a cunty thing to do. Like,
I mean,
I know you're trying to be nice. I get it. And maybe I shouldn't be so sensitive. So I'm looking forward to your opinion. And that's true as well. But also just shut the fuck up. You know, I will ask you if I want to know what you fucking think.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Did you ever play sports growing up?
Yeah, of course.
You know, and your parents came and watched or whatever. And then you get in your car. Because my dad would come and watch and sometimes be like, boys, not very good game. Cam, you missed this ball. And you're just like, fuck. You know, It hurts. And I know it's not the same thing. They're not my dad or whatever. I get that. But what's your opinion on this?
I think it really depends who it is, right? Because it's like, if I don't know you, dude, you know what I mean? But it really depends. It depends on the person, you know what I mean? And also like how they're saying it. Because like you said, right after I got off and I'm sweating and I'm still sitting in the bomb and it's like, yeah, I know it was not good, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know, but how about you tell me when we grab a beer after or like give me 5 minutes to decompress and then we can have a conversation about it. But I think a lot of people just don't know how to talk to people. You know what I mean? Like you just don't know how to address somebody. It's like, if I had to give you a no, it's like, oh, maybe here, you just gotta make it, you know what I mean, a little bit sillier or whatever. You know what I mean? But you don't need that 2 minutes after you got off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like a down the line situation.
Yeah.
Especially if it's somebody you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or somebody's like, dude, you're gonna see me tomorrow.
Yeah, it's also like, he's like, you know, you just gotta be more silly or you gotta be a bit more like, you know, I'm like, maybe that's not me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm not a silly guy like up there. Like sometimes I can be, sometimes I'm not. You just also like, who the fuck? I don't even know what I am. You know, 1 minute I'm this, 1 minute I'm that. I'm like, I don't know what I am. I haven't formed that like firm identity of who I
style.
am. I don't know what it is yet. It's probably not going to come out for years. I was interested to. I was just a little. Plus, like last night, like I did this pod yesterday. I barked for like a couple of shows, and I did a bunch of open mics. It was just like I didn't get home till like 1 a.m. I was up early. I was like fucking tired. It was just like I don't know. I just didn't. Yeah. My body was rejecting
it. You're having a bad day. You're having a bad day.
Boo-hoo.
Guy came to you at the wrong time. It is what it is. Maybe if you had a better day, you'd be like, hey, thanks. Good note, dude. You know, if my day started off, my wife gave me a blowjob, maybe now I'll take your feedback. But I didn't get that. Some guy threw a bag of shit at me on the subway. And then I didn't give him $1 and he pissed on my foot. You're like, I don't want your notes, dude. But I know what you mean, dude. It does suck, but also there's two sides of the sword. It's like it's a little bit of like suck it up, but also it's like
totally.
I get it. You know what I mean?
I know. Yeah.
And you also got to know that person. They're not coming from a bad spot.
No, I know.
So it's like it's out of love.
I know the guy well, and I love him. I love him. Mm-hmm. So it's not personal.
Yeah.
But you know, I just wanted to. I also know that I am a sensitive guy, and I sometimes realize I'm like, just fucking relax, dude. Unwind. It's all good.
No,
Don't take shit so seriously. It's okay. You know, I get it from my dad because he's a real sensitive guy. Like he's the sort of guy that can dish it but can't take it, and I'm very aware of that as well. So I've got that in me. You know?
Yeah.
You know. But comedy certainly helps with that because you know we just eat so much shit. But it's interesting. Man.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've gotten notes here and there. I mean, I feel like some people are afraid of me or like scared to give me notes. I would love notes. I usually, if somebody's gonna give me notes, it's like after I go up to them, like, damn, that was rough, right? And they're like, yeah, maybe you could do this. You know what I mean? If I tell you that I know it was bad, give me some constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't tear me down like, oh yeah, that thing didn't work. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I know. Some people think like, oh, what worked for me, you know, like, oh, I needed to do X, Y, Z, loosen up or whatever, and then it kind of worked for me. They think it's going to work for you, but the same stuff doesn't work for everybody.
But also, what makes you think that you would have done any better? You know,
it's true, man.
What makes you think that you don't know? You could have gone way better. You could have eaten way more dick. You don't fucking know.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, so I don't know.
It's part of it, dude.
I think one thing that I've just really come to terms with, which has been nice. Because I used to put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm like, all right, I'm 36. I'm really starting behind the 8 ball here. Mm-hmm. All right. So I've got to really like, you know, these young guys that start when they're 20, they're so lucky, bro.
Yeah.
How old are you, brother?
I'm 26.
Oh, yeah. You're very lucky, dude.
Dude, I feel like I'm old.
No.
Because like,
there's guys I got a decade on you. You're good, man.
There's guys who are in this and you're like, what? And you've been doing it since you were 16. Again, you're like, how, you don't know how good they are. You know what I mean? Again, there's people who've been doing it for the same amount of time, and it's like, yeah, they've been doing it since they were 16, but what does that mean? You know what I mean? They were doing it once a month or once every 3 months in like some little town somewhere, and you're not getting that many reps. Of course, it's good to start earlier, but also I feel like you got to have some life experience to kind of speak on, you know?
It does help.
Like, for example, Jay Cervedio, he started pretty young. I think he was 17.
Yeah.
But he had a very unique situation. You should have him on so you can tell the story. Oh, you had him on?
Yeah.
Did he tell you a story about?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a cool situation. What's the guy's name? Jeff Ross?
Yeah.
He had Jeff Ross come. He brought him up on stage. He's like, "Yeah, start roasting these guys." And you know, that's like dream situation. Like, yo, imagine you're sitting. Who's your favorite comedian?
I got a few at the moment, but let's just say one of them's this guy that's getting around. He's Osama Siddiqui.
Yeah,
I fucking
Osama
love that
Sadiq.
guy.
Osama Sadiq. I know exactly who you're talking about. Imagine you've never done comedy, but you've been thinking about it. He's like, you come up here and do it with me, bro. That's that's like, oh yeah, I was playing two-hand touch football, and Eli Manning, the quarterback for the New York Giants, came out to me. He's like, I think you're gonna be good. Come on with me. And you're like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is gonna be what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? So that makes sense why he got in at that age.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like how I got into it was I realized I've been a huge comedy fan forever, and then after COVID, I started going to shows again, and like 2021, 2022, I started going out, and I realized I can't sit and enjoy the show. Because in the back of my head, like, I'm like, yo, what if they need somebody? Or like, you know what I mean? What if I was up there? And it got to the point where it's like, I can't enjoy the comedy show until I go out and do comedy and like prove to myself, can I do it or not? And now I'm kind of hooked. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So it's a lot of fun. But now I still can barely enjoy comedy because I'm like, listen, if they need somebody, I'm here. You know what I mean? If you need me, hit me up. I'm sitting right here. I'm like waving to you. I got you, bro. I got you. And you're gonna go up there and eat shit. And it would never happen, right? It would never happen in a million years. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a childlike imagination that comes with it.
Oh, of course.
Because I feel like, and it's a little delusional, but also you need that to do this.
I think I've had very similar things.
100%. But you need that to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because if you're eating shit for a week, you know what I mean? And you have like, of course, here and there, you have a good set and you're like, oh, that's what keeps you going. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, oh, that was phenomenal. You have a great set, great crowd, makes you feel good. You're like, all right, that just gave me 6 more months, you know what I mean, of energy that I'm not going to be like, oh, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
But then you have people come up to me, he's like, oh shit, like you may think you had a bad set and they're like, dude, that was awesome or whatever. Kind of keeps you going.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't enjoy shows now because I'm like, all right, listen, my friend knows that guy and he might DM my friend like, hey, I need somebody. And then my friend is gonna be like, yo, my friend's at the show, he could do 5. And like, no, that's not gonna happen. But you know, we keep doing it, you know?
What was like the catalyst that made you go, and where was your first time?
So the first one, the catalyst, I was at the dog park in my neighborhood.
Okay.
And
Do you have a dog?
Yes, I do.
I was going to say that's weird if you don't.
I have a pit bull named Katarina. Her name, we call her Kat.
Ah, beautiful.
She's a good dog. I'll give you a picture.
Yeah.
And she's a great dog. I was out there and I met another dog owner, a middle-aged dude, and he had his dog, my dog. They had met a couple times, and I was talking to my buddy about how I was interested in comedy, and I was like looking to get into it because I did like an intro to comedy class. It wasn't great. You know what I mean? Out at the Tiny Cupboard. Nothing against the Tiny Cupboard. It was like with another organization. They just used the Tiny Cupboard. And it was good. And that kind of got me, like, they gave me the little itch. So that was the first situation, technically. So I'll go back. I did like this comedy class. We did like a few weeks of classes. And it was just like learning how to write a joke and joke structure, set up, punch, zig and zag, you know what I mean? Like with misdirections, redirections, callbacks, like that's simple stuff. And then they had like a show. It was probably like 10 people in the audience, 15 people maybe. And I had like not a great set, but I got like 2 good laughs in the beginning. I'm like, all right, now I could try that again. And kind of like, that was in the spring. And that whole summer I was like, oh yeah, I'm doing comedy. Telling your friends, oh yeah, I'm doing comedy here and there, but you've only done it once. You know? And then I met this guy at the dog park. He's like, oh, my son actually runs an open mic at his college. And it was at Purchase College, which is like up in Westchester, right? You know, about 30 minutes from the Bronx. So he's like, oh, you should come by and check it out. They're having a show next week. So I was like, all right, I'll come by, see what's up. And it was like their kind of showcase, and it was just like 5-minute spots. And they had like 50 people in the audience. I'm like, damn, this is great. And he's like, dude, it's like this every week. We have an open mic and there's 50 students, college students in the audience just going to laugh. You know what I mean? They just want to enjoy it. And they kind of made it like not a party, but like it was just something to do on Thursday nights on campus. So for like that whole fall, I was doing it once a week. I was going and doing this open mic at SUNY Purchase, State University of New York Purchase. And that was my start. I kind of started doing that. Then I met somebody at that mic. They invited me to another mic over in Pearl River, New York. And that's where I met Jay Cervedio. So, because he's from like, the Hudson Valley area, North Jersey area. I can't help but keep looking at myself. It's going to be on that podcast, but
You look great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I got a haircut. I got a little shape, but you feel me? I was meeting my girlfriend's family. Couldn't look homeless. But you know, it was I met him, and then he put me onto Judy's Ease. He's like, "Oh, dude, you should come to this mic in the city."
Nice.
And then I've been going to Judy's Ease since last August. So like I'm about to hit my year of like doing it consistently.
Oh,
I did that
cool.
one. Thank you, bro.
Fuck, you're only a year in.
Yeah,
Good
or
on
it's
ya.
like a year and a half technically.
Yeah, but no, I think it should really only count when you start going, when you start actually taking it seriously.
Like consistently.
Yeah.
Right? Same thing. I feel like I was doing that SUNY purchase mic, and that was just. Again, it's not a lot of people who are trying to take it. They're not comics.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're just people going up there telling funny stories, or just doing like, just going up there saying, this is a really funny story, and like it's horrible.
Yeah,
And you're like, yeah, sure, guys, this is really funny. Hey guys, then this happened to me. It was really funny, and you're like, yeah, I'm waiting for the funny part. Yeah, waiting for the funny part, but it's just
Isn't it tragic sitting through some of these open mics? It's awful. And, it would have been awful for them to sit through us. And
Yeah.
it still is at times. Mm-hmm. But some of these people are...
I mean, sometimes you go to mic, you're like, who's going to tell them?
Yeah.
You're like, it's not my spot. It's not my place.
Yeah.
You're like, I love the guy.
Don't do it as soon as they get off stage, right? Don't do that.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as they get off, you're like, listen, you ever try improv? I think that'd be a lot better for you. Again, I'm nobody. I'm not somebody to tell somebody to stop doing anything, but there's people who are like, you're like, oh yeah, keep doing it. They'll figure it out. And there's people who just don't figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like, again, I have weeks where it's like, oh, I wrote something, I think it's great and it's horrible. Or weeks I'm like, oh, I have nothing written and you pull something out of your ass and it's great. You're like, oh, sorry, it's great. And it's something I can build off of. You're all right. So I'm on the right track. It's like you do things, you get booked at shows. You're like, all right, people think I'm funny. You know what I mean? So that voice in your head that kind of tells you like, oh, who the fuck do you think you are? That's why you need that delusion. You know what I mean? To think that you're like,
100%.
yo, I'm hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm the funniest guy in here. I'm not gonna lie. I tell this to other guys. I tell this to my boys. I don't know if we're gonna keep this in. When I go up at an open mic or at anywhere, like or a show especially, I want to kill. You want to do your best, of course. But it's kind of like a sports thing. You go up and you're like, I want the guy after me to want to quit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that.
Because that's how I feel when I see a pro go up and you're like, I can't do that. Me and him are doing two separate things.
Yeah.
Or her, whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, that. We don't do the same thing. That's the feeling I want to impose on other people. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a little...
I know, I love that.
But you need
you've
that.
gotta-
You need a little bit.
You've got to be competitive too.
Like sports thing. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
you have to be.
I'm going out every play and I'm killing that motherfucker across from me.
You've got to be an animal.
You got to do it. And I
Yeah.
feel like if you don't have that dog, you're going to be unmotivated. Because if you're not striving to get better and you're just kind of doing it because you want or you think you should do it or somebody told you to try it and you're not doing it for yourself or you think you're going to make money or something. We're doing open mics. This is a net negative on everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just not making... That's what this is. It's 10 years and I'm making money.
Jordan Peterson says, Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, of course.
He says, men should try and like find their inner animal. Like they should be fucking animals. They should be competitive. And like, that's why I do 2 podcasts a week. That's why I publish 2 a week. Because anyone can publish 1 a week. Anyone can do 1 a week. Not everyone is doing 2 a week. That's just it's my competitiveness. It's because I want to work a little bit harder. I want to like outwork everyone else.
100%.
And I obviously enjoy doing it. So it's a privilege and a pleasure, but it's a part of my competitiveness. I want to be outwork as much as I can.
It's part of the grind, you know what I mean? It's like you gotta do your reps, you know what I mean? You gotta put your time in. And I feel like that's with everything. And damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. But it's like sometimes you just gotta hard work beats talent.
Oh, of course.
So it's like, that's what I learned in football. It's like, oh yeah, this guy, he can catch any ball or whatever, but he's not working as hard as this other guy. So it's like the guy who's gonna put in the reps, he's gonna be ready because if we're thinking about it, this is another thing that I'm sure this isn't news to anybody, right? They say luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah.
Like there's people, they say comedy's a lot of luck. It's all about who you know and whatever. But also you have to be prepared because if you're not, there's people who like went viral or whatever. They're TikTokers, you know what I mean? And they're trying to do shows or whatever. They're not doing great material. You know what I mean? They're not doing a strong half hour of jokes. They're up there pulling it out of their ass, kind of doing whatever they want to do. And God bless them. If you're making money that way, good on you. If somebody's going to come to your show, good for you. You know what I mean? But it's like, for me personally, it's like, I want to feel proud of what I'm doing and thinking like, yo, this is killer. You know what I mean? Like, I don't post a lot of things. I just have like right now I have 2 videos up. And it's because one of them was a roast with Jay. So we collaborated on that one. And the other one was like, because the mayoral race was happening. So I had to put out that mayor bit, you know, the mayoral joke.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the best version of the joke. I've had better versions of that joke come out now, but it's like, I just put it out to put it out. You got to get it out there.
Ya.
You know what I mean? But
what is your writing style? So how do you write on stage? Do you write on pen and paper?
I think it's a little bit, mostly on stage. I'll like have an idea, kind of write it down, type it out on my phone, and kind of know where I want to go with it. But I'll kind of just, mess around, try to figure it out. Whenever I try to like write something out and kind of like write out the punchlines, I always forget like 3 of them. And I would have been better off just doing bullets. You know what I mean? That's what I kind of go off of. I try to just have bullets of like what I wanted to talk about and things I think are funny, and then try to figure it out. Try to figure out like a punchline there, here and there.
Yeah.
Because when I do try to write it, it doesn't sound natural to me. Because you're like, you need a little bit of that setup punch. You know what I mean? Like, so that I was doing this the other day, and then and so people kind of know when to laugh. You know what I mean? But you don't want it to be too much of that.
Yeah.
You know? So at least for me, that's how I like to write. I just want to kind of feel like you're just talking to me on the corner.
Yeah.
Like you ran into this guy at the deli and this is your neighbor. You know what I mean? I'm your neighbor telling you about like, they had my water off for 4 days. Who do they think they are? You know what I mean? Like taking your situation and just trying to make it funny. You know what I mean? I'm trying to write more. I'm trying to improve my writing. That's something I'm always trying to work on because I know like there's guys like Jay, very talented writer. You know what I mean? Like that guy, he does his Substacks. He submitted for The Onion. And he like does full articles, like satirical articles, serious articles.
And he handwrites the whole fucking thing.
Everything by hand.
He's an animal.
And like he's great at that stuff. And that's just like his gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very funny dude. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to like me and him, I feel like I'm more of an energy guy. I go up there and I'm coasting off my energy. And then he's like up there like, oh no, I prepared something and I'm gonna do it this way. And I think it's gonna be this good. You know what I mean? And I don't really have that.
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just as you develop, people get better. I
think back to I do the same as you, exactly the same as you. I have a couple of bullet points, a few ideas, and I just rip it on mics. And then I'll eventually I'll write it down.
Yeah,
but I also think of like how I was as a kid, and I was always the sort of guy that just liked to do things. I didn't ever play computer games. I like to physically do things and interact with people. And I never was one to study. I didn't like studying. I didn't like sitting down. So then I think, well, why do that with comedy? Why not just go play? Just play and play and play, and then eventually do the work when I have to.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
It's kind of more fun that way.
Definitely.
It's like you're creating in the moment.
Yes, exactly. It's more natural. It's more genuine and organic. You know what I mean?
The only thing is, it's really hard to cut out the fat. You got to eventually sit down because.
Well, that's why I record everything and you listen back and you're like, all right. My bad.
You're right.
That's why you record everything and you listen back to it, right? Because then you're like, all right, when you hear something that doesn't belong, you're like, all right, that's too much. You know what I mean? I don't need that anymore. And I kind of try to put that stuff out of my head. But there's times where it's like, all right, there should be a laugh here. And then you bring that fat back and it kind of helps them along.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need it. But I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's hard because you feel like you're looking for that punchline. So you kind of start rambling or you're like, all right, maybe it didn't work like that. Let me try to deliver this another way, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's... Either way, I have so much fun, dude.
It's so fun.
I told my dad, I was trying to, he explained it to my dad, and you think parents like, oh, you can't do that. I got a 9 to 5. I told my dad, I said, Dad, I can get another job. You know what I mean? I haven't quit my job. But it's like, at the end of the day, it's like anybody can go out and kind of get a sales job at 9 to 5, go sell cars or something like that. It's like, it's not the end of the world if I try this creative venture in my 20s.
You have to.
And
you'll never forgive yourself if you don't.
100%. And I told him, like, because I used to play football in high school. I didn't play a lot, right? Because my high school team, we didn't have a team, right? My high school didn't have a football team. I played lacrosse in high school. That was like the closest to contact sport we can get. And it was funny because it's just like me and a bunch of Dominican kids like playing the lacrosse, and I just murder guys. I just use it as a sword. I'm just beating the shit out of dudes. I got a penalty every game. I must have had a record with the PSAL in the city because I had a flag, at least one, every single game for 2 years. And it was a lot of fun. But when I played football, you have that dream of like making it to the NFL. You know what I mean? And you do have a little delusion. And I said that, and you get excited about going to practice. Practice sucks, But I loved football so much. I was like, I get to practice today. I get to go out there. Hey, maybe I get to go hit some guys. Most of the time it was running. You know what I mean? They're going to run my fat ass. But I loved it. Hitting a motherfucker. That energy, it's like a high you get from hitting a guy.
Yeah.
And I'm having flashbacks, guys. But I love it. You know what I mean? And it's like, going back to that dog, you know what I mean? That dog, I used to hit guys with my head, which you're not supposed to do. If you didn't know.
CTE, guys.
Yeah, even with a helmet, you know what I mean? You're not supposed to use your head. Yeah. And I'd have guys, I'd hit them with my head, and they'd be like, dude, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, yeah, I know. And the next play, I'd hit them with my face, my face mask. I just go straight up against it, and I'd be smiling. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to do that crazy shit. But that goes back to that dog where you're like, no, I got to go out there and kill. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm trying to murder. So I was trying to tell my dad, I was like, Dad, I haven't been excited about something like this. You know, stand up, doing this, like than I was when I did football.
Wow.
That was like the last time. Because it's something every athlete has to come to terms with is like, I'm not going pro. You know what I mean? Some people, I knew in high school, I broke my femur senior year.
Ooh.
Things aren't happening. You know what I mean? In the back of your head, you're like, oh, I could go play at a junior college or whatever. Like there was a school, ASA. I don't know if it's still around, but in the city, ASA College. It was like, it's a 2-year school, junior college, but they had a good football program and they had guys who would get recruited to like D1 schools. So, but they wanted me to do 2 years as a red shirt. So I don't play for 2 years. And then I would play for 2 years at a junior college, which is a 2-year university. You know what I mean? Once that happened, I was like, yeah, it's over. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm not going to spend 4 years in community college to then go do 4 years at another college. I'd be 28. I'd still be playing, you know what I mean? I'd still be hoping to go into the NFL if I was built for it. But you realize at a certain point, it takes a different level of hard work to make it into the NFL. You know what I mean? Like you got to be willing to work out twice a day, every day. I wasn't built for that. You know what I mean? I like the idea of being a football player. I wasn't a football player. You know what I mean? I wasn't built for that. Physically, I was built for that, not mentally. But I feel like with comedy, I can apply the same thing, and it's like, all right, this feels right. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, this is something that I can grind and kind of like. It's not like there's just one door. Like I feel like with the NFL, right, with football, sports, it's like either you go to a college to play football or you don't. You know what I mean? And you go to a junior college or a D2 or a D3, but like 1% of guys. It's like 0.01 of like high school players in the country right now will end up in the NFL.
It's crazy.
It's like 0.001.
That's probably the same percentage of comedians that make it.
True, but you got to think about it. There's probably hundreds of thousands of kids playing football, right? But there's probably maybe 100,000 guys or men and women doing comedy or whatever it may be. I don't know how many are in New York. Maybe let's say 20,000 are in New York, and so it is less competition, but I feel like now with comedy, there's a lot more doors, right? Because you can go to the B clubs and get in there. You know what I mean? You go in and get a barking position at St. Mark's, comedy club, or eventually with some time you can work at it. You go to enough mics, you can get in that door. You know what I mean? You can go online. You could do your own podcast, right? We didn't need CBS or ABC to approve this podcast. You're doing it on your own. So I feel like you're making your own path. That doesn't happen with sports. You know what I mean? That's not the same thing. So I feel like something like that, it's a better chances. You know what I mean? But again, it's either you have it or you don't. You know? And I feel like that's the same thing. I didn't have it for football, but I think I have it for comedy. You know? So this is something that I'm completely comfortable just doing for the next 10 years. We'll see. I say that now, but you don't know what's going to come down the road. You know what I mean?
Nah, you got to keep going, dude. You're so good.
Dude, I'm going to keep grinding. You know what I mean? I love this shit. But like you hear about it, you're like, oh man, that guy used to be so funny, but then he had a family and he stepped away. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do my best to keep it going. You know what I mean? And hopefully the right doors open up. You know what I mean? That you're like I said, like, all right, if somebody you respect says good set, you know what I mean? Like for me, like I've done sets at Broadway Comedy Club or at Greenwich Village, and like Julio Diaz or like Chris Sosa would be like, yo, good stuff, or like, or give me a pound, or like the guy who I forgot his name, but there's a gentleman who hosts there, big Hispanic or Italian looking dude, shorter guy, a little chubby.
Harry?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Maybe I think so. Clean shaved, slick back hair. I don't know.
Anyway,
whatever, it doesn't matter. But like he's like, yo, like when they make a face, like, yo, dude, that was, you know what I mean? Like you got something.
Feels good.
You're like, all right, I'm in the right place. You know what I mean? I'm doing the right thing. Because like I said, like you do have that thing in the back of your head. You're like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you post a clip of you doing stand up, because I get it on my feed. You see like thousands or hundreds of like open micers posting god awful clips, like garbage clips. You're like, there's no laughs in this clip, and you're like, why did you post it? Because you got 2 laughs. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge, but it's like for me, it's like I got to put something up that's getting more laughs than that.
Yeah,
and that kind of like that is kind. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just that voice in the back of your head. I don't know if it's like people trying to be who are too worried about what other people think. But for me, it's like if I'm gonna put something out, I want it to be good.
Yeah.
And also, I don't want to waste a good joke.
I'm not gonna start. I'll probably start posting comedy in a few years, like clips of comedy. I'm not bothering right now. Plus, I get enough content just from this.
Yeah, this is great. You need something. You got to be posting something. I feel like the only thing that I posted was like that topical thing, right? The mayoral race, or like the roast with Jay, because those are like things that are one off. It's not taking time out of like the decent 10 minutes I have. Because you think about it, it's like you think you have good jokes until you write the next one, and you're like, you listen back, you look back, you're like, that was trash.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I was killing it. Yeah. You're like, oh, that was one of my best shows.
Yeah.
And then you do 6 more months and you're like, wow, that was trash.
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with me? I can't believe they'll had me back in that club. You know? It's nuts.
All right, brother. Well, listen, it has been a fucking pleasure.
Oh, dude. That flew by.
Gone fast, dude. It always goes fast. Thanks for coming on. Do you want to give everyone your socials?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram, Danny Hallinan. Last name is spelled Hallinan, one word. And then shout out to Bohemian Underground, the show that me and Jace Video produce. I'm sure we'll tag that below. But thank you so much for having me, bro. I really appreciate it. Always good seeing you.
It's a pleasure. Guys, follow Danny. He's a fucking legend. He's going to be a star one day. He already is, but he is so fucking funny, guys.
Me and you both, bro.
Oh, thank you, brother. Guys, see you in the next one.